Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritland is my review of the WWE UK Championship Tournament Special, just the Day 2 event. Not Day 1. I was watching Raw last night after work, so I wasn't able to watch because of work, and then watching and reviewing Raw, and reviewing it, of course, with Durbinator, my best friend, also great co-host. And this is going to go up just before SmackDown, by the way. So I do really appreciate everybody who loves what I review, whether it's WWE or New Japan. And I'm going to be honest, I try to keep up on the UK scene as much as I can, but I'm not able to as much. So if you know channels that do keep up on the UK scene, you can drop them in the comments here. Shout them out on your own Twitter or on your own YouTube. Let's just have some great camaraderie with the wrestling fan community, because honestly, it's such a great time to be a wrestling fan. Almost every year is a great year to be a wrestling fan, but especially with social media and how we're able to all connect and have such great talks. Really enjoy talking to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy talking to me, so I really do appreciate it. Now, I already knew the results of these, and certainly wasn't a bad show. It reminded me of the UK special they did in May or June of last year. I think it was May of last year, which is pretty fun. And don't get me wrong, the January one that they did last year was really good too. But yeah, it's not, I noticed with the Day 1, Day 2 events that Day 2 tends to be better. And maybe that's because they're getting like some of the nerves and some of like the, the build of the matches out of the way. This time around, Zach Gibson was the guy that they, chose, to win the tournament to face Pete Dunne. Apparently Zach Gibson is really hated. Again, I don't know a ton about the current UK wrestling scene outside of a few wrestlers. Can somebody explain to me why Zach Gibson is so hated? And what was with taking off the shoes in the main event? I mean, somebody want to explain that? Anyway. Let's start off with the card proper, and this may be pretty quick. I'm just going to say this much. But yeah, Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Titles. Undisputed Era represented by Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Bobby Fish not there, probably not making the trip due to still recovering from his injury. Hopefully he is okay. And no, they were not accompanied by Adam Cole. Bye, because he was backstage getting ready for, I don't know what that was, getting ready for a match he was going to have later against Wolfgang. This was unfortunately one of the ones that was spoiled, which is such a shame, because I almost wonder what the pop could have been like just on the internet had nobody known, had they not leaked anything and had this stuff just popped like crazy. But they had dueling chants. It was really cool. It was really cool how Mustache Mountain was super over. Baton, Trent Seven are really polished as a team. Strong and Kyle O'Reilly for their time in Ring of Honor and just being tremendous workers. Really good stuff. I did like the dueling chants, as I said. Good cutting off of the ring by O'Reilly and Strong. That was really good. Way to build up sympathy for the baby faces, Baton 7. And I love this one point where freaking Drake like just does this like friggin' almost parkour leap to like make this count. It was just absolutely wonderful. Great stuff, great pops. And then when, Trent hit the 7-star and then 1, 2, 3, crowd exploded. If I hadn't known about the leaked result, the leak results, I probably actually wouldn't have known the title change, or, expected a title change to happen. Because I'm a bit surprised. However, I get it, because Undisputed Era has actually held the tag titles for a good while. Now, Strong did just come along into the Undisputed Era at TakeOver New Orleans, but still, they've had it for a while. Now, that's not to say that we won't have this rematch. I don't know if we're going to have it on NXT TV. But we might have this rematch to take over Brooklyn 4, and Undisputed Era may take the titles back. And then maybe you could have British Strong Style versus Undisputed Era versus another team in War Games, and have another 3-team War Games at TakeOver in November. Who knows? This was probably, this and the main event were the matches of the night. Great energy. Great work by all guys involved. Really well done tag match. And a great shocking tag title change. I mean, shocking if you didn't read the results. But unfortunately, I saw it because WWE spoiled it on their own goddamn Twitter feed. And then Killer Kelly versus Charlie Morgan. Not familiar with either of these two at all. I heard the Killer Kelly name a little bit. I gotta say, she's pretty hot. And pretty skilled. I mean, and this is not... It's like, I saw her and I go, okay, I'm intrigued. And Charlie Morgan... impressive enough. This seemed more like they had nerves, and they were maybe nervous about the stage they were on, or something. I'm not really sure what it was. Maybe it's because I haven't been exposed to their style, but the general consensus seemed to be that this match wasn't that good, and hopefully that these women can do better. And I'm not going to dog on these women. They tried, they did well. Some of the stuff seemed sloppy, but again, it could have been nerves. Who knows what it was? Certainly wasn't bad. But they both looked good with what they did, but it also was sloppy. And Charlie Morgan got the shocking win. Okay, cool. I can see her being, a nice little undercard, woman if they want to use her. I mean, whether it's on the NXT UK brand, if that works, or if they just meld everybody into the NXT brand. I think Killer Kelly has a pretty good look, and I'm interested to see what they both do. This match, however, maybe not the best showcase of them. Nothing against either woman. Mark Andrews, Travis Banks, and Flash Morgan Webster, who I tweeted out recently or during the show, is trying to reach the Oasis tonight, and he liked that tweet. It's nice that he saw that as just me having fun, and I wasn't actually mocking his look, because his look reminds me very much of Elton John meets Oasis, the band. And that's not a slight at all. They're very talented musicians. Flash Morgan Webster is impressive. Mark Andrews, very, very impressive. Travis Banks, also, I see why people like Travis Banks. Actually, very beginning of my exposure to watching Travis Banks, I seen a little bit of his work. And I was impressed with what he did. But then, it was announced all of a sudden there's going to be a fourth guy involved. Familiar music hits and the Scottish supernova, Noam Dar, comes back. I was so happy to see Noam Dar back. The guy, despite being put in this horrible storyline with Alicia, I can't do that like the Derb. I'll try to find the reviews that he did that on, and maybe you guys can figure that out and see what he and see how long he's held that. He's held that note for like 20 minutes. Or not 20 minutes, but 20 seconds. 20 minutes would be impressive. 20, 30 seconds. But anyway, great seeing Noam Dar back. Honestly, the guy is world class. The guy is super, super talented. And it was good stuff. Good exchanges. Great multi-man spots as you would expect with this. Every guy looked really, really good. Of course, there was a lot of, two guys are battling, one guy gets knocked out, or both guys get knocked out of the ring, the other two guys get in the ring, and there were some good multi-man spots, as I said. Dar gets a victory. Cool. I'm happy for it. He gets a future WWE UK title shot, which is okay. I guess maybe NXT UK title shot. I mean, I think it's going to be the UK Championship still. But Dar got the victory, and that was nice. It was really, really nice to see Dar get the victory. And then the Coffee Brothers. Joe, and I didn't catch the other name. Apologies. I didn't write this down. But they attacked Andrews and a couple others in the match. Andrews and Webster. I wrote down enough of this stuff, but action was happening so fast that I didn't write some of this stuff down. But however, okay, cool. I've heard of the Coffee Brothers, especially Joe. I didn't see anything wrong with their work, and if this is going to build up to a tag match for the NXT UK brand, cool. And then we had the North American Heavyweight Championship. This good match, decent match actually. Wolfgang versus Adam Cole. Bye. I don't know what that was. It sounds like Droopy saying Adam Cole, bye. The hell do I do that voice? I watched that cartoon a bunch when I was a kid. Anyway, good exchanges. Wolfgang is impressive for a guy his size. He calls himself the last king of Scotland. James McAvoy, better run. That is a bit of a throwback. That was a good movie. Not a movie I can necessarily watch more than twice. It was actually hard to watch it once. Just because of the violence. But I mean, it was great stuff. It was really, really good stuff. I enjoyed it. McAvoy and especially Forrest Whitaker were tremendous in it. But anyway, good match. Cole was more the babyface here. And Wolfgang was a bit of the heel. But Wolfgang had a good showing. There was no doubt Cole was going to win, and Cole won with the last shot to the back of the neck. Don't Google that, by the way. Trust me on this. Don't Google that or Google that movie. Anyway, good stuff. Interview with Trent Seven and Tyler Bate and Kathy Kelly. Just my God, absolutely stunning. But Bate and Seven, they seem like they have a really good camaraderie, really good friendship, and it really seems like this meant a lot to them. This is a nice little interview. And then Aleister Black and Ricochet versus EC3 and Velveteen Dream. Each team had a black guy on it. Had to make that joke. Didn't have to, but did anyway. So, it was a bit messy. I think it was more about telling a story because you had, Velveteen had history of both Aleister and Ricochet. And Aleister versus EC3 could be a possible feud. Alistair versus Ricochet, perhaps. Some good stuff here. Some good stuff. Velveteen sold his knee after a spot, so he wasn't suddenly doing so much stuff. Velveteen was super over, by the way. I think everybody pretty much was super over here, but Velveteen especially. But they were chanting, oh God, it was great stuff. They were chanting along with EC3's music, I'm in the top 1%. And EC3, even though he's having to be a heel, he's just like, you could tell he was getting into it. It was really good. It was really good stuff. And they started the whole one and only, for Ricochet when, it became his music one and only. And they also sung along to Aleister Black's theme. And yeah, everybody was super over with this. This is much more of a star showcase, really, like some veterans and some up-and-coming guys, because Aleister, I guess really the only up-and-comer that they have is Velveteen, which sounds really dirty, because EC3's experienced enough in wrestling. So's Aleister, who's Tommy End in the UK scene. And then Ricochet, who's been doing really well for a number of years. So yeah, this was really, this was enjoyable. Again, it was a bit messy. And they did this whole thing where Velveteen left because he had hurt his knee and stuff like that. And EC3, I'm going to get you. And then he realizes, oh shit, Aleister's right behind me and gets pinned. Okay, that happens. But it was certainly a nice little fun match. And then Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Oh Christ. Shayna, you're Toni Storm is drop dead gorgeous, by the way. I mean, beyond being super talented in the ring for her age, she's only 22 and well above most women that are 10 years older than her. She is really good and it's only going to get better. And yeah, sorry, she's a freaking knockout. She is. I mean, sorry. Can't help it. I mean, and she knows it and she carries herself well. She carries herself like a star and is very good in the ring. Shayna, look, I give Shayna credit for the fact that she's been training in her mid-30s, into her mid-30s, legit UFC fighter, tries. She's 38, I think she's 38 now, 37, 38, she's a champion. I don't know what her birthday is, I can't really be asked to look, and I don't really care. So yeah, I give her credit for, usually when a lot of women are thinking about hanging it up, she's wrestling and has only been wrestling for about 3 years, or close to it. I think she made her debut in September of 2015. I just don't find her interesting. I just don't. Is she a legit athlete? Yes. Yes, she is. I just don't find Shayna interesting. I don't. Every match is the goddamn same. I mean, this one was lost by count, or, was won by count out because Toni Storm couldn't get back in the ring because Shayna had the friggin' rear naked choke or whatever it was outside. But Toni tried. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. I know that there are people that like Shayna, and that's great. I just don't find her that interesting. This to me was probably this. The two women's matches on this show were a little weak, which is unfortunate, given what I'd heard about the previous two women, especially Killer Kelly. What little bit I'd heard, and how much I like Toni Storm, and what little bit I've seen of her. But I'm just not impressed with Shayna. I know others are. Cool. Whatever. Gonna move on. We then get to, Shayna won, cool, all right, whatever, and then beat up Toni Storm afterwards. This is reality. God, reality sucks. I'm sorry. It's cool. It's cool if you guys like her. Then Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson. Again, why do people hate Zach Gibson? And that finisher where he takes the arm and does this, and, it's like this. I'm sure it actually would hurt if you tried doing that to somebody. Doesn't look like a very effective finisher. It's something Gates. I didn't quite catch what the last name was or what the first part of it was. Gibson, I was impressed enough with Gibson's work. I don't quite get why he's not liked. Is it a geography thing? Is it because of where he's from in the UK? I mean, could somebody please explain that to me? Is it because he always works as a heel? Because again, I don't know that much about the guy. But this is a good match. Dunne and Gibson worked really well together. I didn't think Gibson was going to get the victory. I didn't think there was any chance. He was the best choice because I think he gave Dunne a really good match. Dunne's had better matches other than this, like what he had against Kyle O'Reilly on the NXT UK or NXT TV a month or two ago, something like that. It's still a good match, good way to end it, and Dunn won. Cool. He won and done it. Ow. Yeah, that happened. I'll say a B for the show. I'll say a B. Because I like the atmosphere of the Royal Prince Albert Hall. I had to say it. I had to say, Prince Albert and Can, you better let him out. It was good stuff. It was enjoyable. The women's matches were a little weak. That's not fault against the women, and I'm even including Shayna in that. I just don't find Shayna interesting, but I just didn't find them as compelling as I should have, I guess. But I look forward to seeing what Killer Kelly, Charlie Morgan, and Toni Storm do. Shayna, I mean, she really can only get better. She really only can. I mean, you can't really get much worse. And hopefully things get better for the women's division here and in WWE's UK brand. So B for me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Did you guys enjoy the UK 2-day special that they did? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe. Also, it's been real honestly with John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.